Oh, that's always fun. Hey, I am Addy the Nard Dog Narder. I am actually the host here. JC is my co-host on this one. The man who has so many hats to prevent his scalp from getting rid of the ozone gas from all the reflective sun rays on there. How the
Hey,
hell are
listen,
you, JC?
respect the moonroof at all costs, brother. That's what you need to do. Don't disrespect the moonroof. Respect it. Respect. You see that? You see that?
Oh, dude.
Yeah,
Hey,
bro.
you got a healthy garden growing up there.
Yeah, bro. Hey, hey, I'm gonna go to Turkey. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna be like Jalen Rose.
Well, we are here to break down the playoff matchups. We're here to break down some prospects. We're going to go into all you need. We got JC here, which is a rare and valiant occurrence. We're fucking enthusiastic to have you, man. It's
Hey,
been a minute.
you,
We haven't been
you
on the same
using
show in a bit.
you're using all these big words right now, and I don't know what they mean. So I'm gonna take it as a sign of disrespect. All right, watch your tone. Watch your tone,
I'll watch it. I mean, my worry of the day calendar is undefeated, but dude,
dude.
it is so good to see you, man. Like we've been doing some prospect film, we've been doing all sorts of stuff. We got a draft contest coming out in a couple days here. Like there's some big things happening, man. I got college data that I've been looking at. Like we got prospects. How have you been liking the NFL playoffs?
I don't. I mean, I have enjoyed this. The wild card round was crazy. That was great.
It was.
You know, outside of the Texans, the Texans Steelers game, which
What was wrong with
again,
that?
what was wrong with the Texans Steelers game?
Yeah, man.
Besides the fact that the Steelers were in the playoffs, just in the fucking playoffs in the first place, like what was wrong with it was Lamar Jackson wasn't in the playoffs. So that could have been a really fun game between the Texans and the Ravens. Instead, we were forced to watch Aaron Rodgers' swan song and or him getting like, you know, just boofed into the oblivion. Yeah, that. I was gonna say laughing at his own fart, like laughing at his own farts in a bathtub. Um, I to me, that was an incredible round. I mean, the Denver, to this point, the Denver and Bills thing, that was awesome. It just sucks. What really sucks is we would have had two-second-year quarterbacks, two-second-year quarterbacks at the helm in the AFC Championship game. We get robbed of that. Like that class, that 2024 class is turning out to be a pretty legendary class, you know. And you still got the grossest part is that the most fun player in the league, literally fucking Mahomes light, and people are like, "Oh, I don't know if I honestly I don't know if Caleb Williams is any good. He plays too much." Dude, this one dumbass was like, watch the tape. Now, I guarantee you, this motherfucker has never watched an ounce, an iota of film, all 22 in his life. And his statement was, watch the film, watch the tape. It's just all highlight plays. And no, and he's not accurate. And it's like, bro, shut the fuck up. Just shut up. So I've enjoyed the
The
playoffs a
dude
great deal.
literally has the most drop passes in the
Yes.
NFL.
Yes.
The most.
Yes.
By a lot.
He also has the most fourth quarter comebacks in the NFL.
Right.
Like, I don't understand how you can. I don't understand how you can watch him play football. Watch some of the things that he does, even when it's not the. He just does things that make you feel like. And I'm not doing this because you're a Bears fan or my brother's a Bears fan. I'm saying it because I'm a huge Caleb Williams fan. Have been, will be, and I think that this is the worst that we will see of Caleb Williams from a performance standpoint. Like, it's only going to continue to get like just better and better and better. But what are your thoughts? I just talked for like 4 minutes straight.
No, I totally agree with them. But like, see, here's the thing. So I'm on Twitter, so I have to deal with all the Packers goblins that are like, Jordan Love had 30 touchdowns in his second season. He's 30. He's 30. And Caleb doesn't even have 4,000 yards. I am astounded by the lack of film knowledge on Caleb Williams. He is one of the most prolific players I have ever watched play football. I am extremely enthusiastic as a Bears fan. And it is crazy to me that completion percentage is the leg these people have to stand on. Like, when have we ever heard completion percentage as the thing that they're using? Like, remember Drake May's completion percentage last year? Wasn't great. Remember any number of prolific quarterbacks, their completion percentage, it goes up over time. And Caleb Williams even has the excuse of drop passes, but you will never see a quarterback on their back foot throw the ball 40 yards to the back corner of the end zone to fucking Cole Kmet. To Cole Kmet, one of the most mid players of all time. He is the average tight end. He's a freaking creative player in Madden, man. Like, we are able to turn that guy into a prolific weapon. It is freaking incredible. He's the best player I've ever watched in a Bears uniform. I'm so happy I get to see that. And you should have seen the bar at Chicago, man. Like,
Oh,
I
you
have
went to a
never been to. Oh
you
yeah,
went to a bar to
I
watch the game?
well, dude, I watched the first one in California, and like me and Krill were in like a restaurant yelling at a TV, and it was fun. Don't get me wrong; there were a couple other people yelling, but they weren't loud. They were frowned upon. They weren't wearing Bears jerseys. But I was like, what, screw it. I need to feel the full Chicago experience. Like, booked a table at a nice bar. Like, me and my wife and a couple friends were there, and dude, it's just my wife has some crazy pictures of me just like.
Yeah.
"Ah."
The fourth
It's
down
so
throw,
cool.
the fourth down throw was 51 yards, by the way.
51 fucking yards.
Yeah.
Holy shit. It's so
51
cool.
yards off his back foot to the back corner of the end zone. I believe it was like a 16% completion percentage at the time of release. And so, yeah, I mean, he's made two of the most incredible throws. Really, if you go back, the throw in overtime, the first throw in overtime against the Packers. I promise, guys, this isn't going to turn into a Caleb Williams glaze fest like the
No, we
media
can
does
keep
Josh
talking about
Allen. But but the first throw against the Packers for game to DJ Moore, then the subsequent throws, the 4th and 8 against the Packers the next week, and then this throw against the Rams. And I really thought that when you guys got the ball back and he had the big scramble, I was like, oh, he's about to walk the Rams down. And having three or four second year quarterbacks, 2024 class quarterbacks in the championship round, rather. I was going to say the AFC championship, but that's not accurate. I was struggling with that for a second, if you hadn't noticed. So if you 3 of 4 being in the championship round would have been incredible. But I mean, I'll take 2 out of 4. So really, really
Hell yeah.
thrilled all that with the playoffs so far. But let me ask you this. Who do you have? I feel like there's a pretty clear-cut winner on the AFC side, most likely, unless Denver's defense can do something just phantasmal. Who do you have winning the Rams Seahawks thruple match?
So it's a weird one because I've been a K-Dub guy forever. Like, this was one of the things that led to us being friends. Our love
Correct.
of Kenneth Walker. Like, he's incredible. I don't think that a team is more positioned to win a game than the Rams right now. And
Correct.
that Seahawks team is freaking terrifying. Don't get me wrong. Like, we were talking about dog walking. They dog walked the shit out of the 49ers. That was a crazy game. Like, Rashid Shaheed finally exists again. That's cool. Like, they have every weapon you could imagine, but am I going to pick Sam Darnold over Matt Stafford in a meaningful game? I
Exactly.
can't do it.
I don't know that you should. And that's the struggle for me is like, can the Seahawks do enough? Can the Seahawks do enough to keep Sam Darnold comfortable? If you can do enough to keep him comfortable, if you can do enough to make him, if you can do enough to make him feel, uh, never you stay ahead of the chains, like turn him into a game manager because I just don't feel comfortable. Like Matthew Stafford, you can go say, hey, there's 20 different ways to win this game. Pick one. The path for Sam Darnold to win this game is like all the players around him play really, really well, and he gains confidence from that.
And he
But
doesn't mess up.
yeah, and he doesn't self-sabotage himself. Like I after last year and seeing basically for what essentially 6 of the 8 quarters they've played so far, he's looked like dog water. And, like some miraculous things had to happen for the Seahawks to win that second game. If you know, you know. And I just can't get down with that. I don't believe in it. I don't believe it's sticky. I know they walked them down, down 30-14 or whatever, but they were down big, in both games. So I feel like it's more of like the Rams losing a game more so than the Seahawks. The Seahawks are going to have to actually win this one. What are your thoughts?
See, I'm on the exact same page as you. I was really impressed by the Rams' run defense throughout the entire Bears game. Like Ben Johnson was throwing everything at the wall. He had motion going, he had duo blocks going, he tried shifting from zone to actual gap scheme at times, and like
Mhm.
it it didn't work. Like Verse, Frisk, they absolutely wrecked the Bears running backs. Given Kyle Monangai, like, I love the guy, but me and my dad were talking about this the other night. Like, the Bears seem to think Kyle Monangai is about 35 pounds heavier than he is, and
Mhm.
just continuously give him the ball in like 3rd and 1, 4th and 1 situations. Like, you can't do that to Kenneth Walker. Like he's going to make you pay. He's going to run straight up the hole and he's going to hit you in the face cuz that's what gets him going. But I I just can't root against Puka Nakua and Matt Stafford. Like we've seen enough from these guys. We haven't even seen Devontae Adams like play, right? He hasn't
Yeah.
existed in these playoffs. And I
Well, I
get
mean,
he's probably coming back from injury.
he did do the one thing against you guys last week,
Yeah, he did. He did. He did one. And to be entirely honest, as
but
a
it was
Bears
just
fan,
one though.
yeah, as a Bears fan, I would love to see Devontae get a ring. He should have one.
Would you?
He
Would you?
Yeah, he's not Aaron Rodgers. He's not Aaron. Like
Is
you
that the
said there was something
delineating?
wrong with the Texans Pittsburgh game. I saw nothing wrong with that. That was really fun to watch.
I mean, the problem was that I had to fucking watch it, bud.
Yeah.
That's the problem. I was like, ah, god damn it, it's Monday. There's football on TV. Like my brain immediately just literally was just like, all right, Monday Night Football. I heard the music. I have to watch this, and then it just kept like it was just like, you know, just a clown car crash. But then at the end of the car crash, like they get out of the car and then they just like shit on themselves. Like
Pee
it was
themselves right quick. Yeah.
yeah, it was one of the worst. Like, it's just one of the worst experiences I've ever had with football. Like watching football, it was the least enjoyable, probably top 3 least enjoyable games. The Monday Night Football game with the Panthers and the Rams is up, or Panthers and the not Rams, 49ers on Monday
Yeah.
Night Football was another really unenjoyable game.
It's
But
a
that
clunker.
yeah, that took that Texans Steelers took the cake. That was horrible.
Oh, just atrocious. But we're on the same page. Like I think we both agree there's just not much to watch for Denver. Jared Stidham isn't Bo Nix. Like for any aspersions you have about Bo Nix, and I have a couple. Like I still don't think that he is as elite as his record over 2 seasons has looked. Like Jared Stidham can't take that team over the Patriots with the way they're playing. Like the Patriots are playing the way that the Seahawks want to play in this next week. Like they have
Mhm.
made everything easy for Drake May. And to be honest, that throw to Kayshawn Booty was one of the best throws I have ever seen in my life. Like there wasn't a window. There
Yeah.
just wasn't. Stingley was on him.
So what do you okay. I try not to be a prisoner of the moment, but watching Drake May, and it stresses me out to say this out loud, but watching Drake May, I think he's one of the best deep ball passers that we've ever seen.
Probably. Like
Not like
I
not
dude,
and I'm
it
not
stresses
saying
me out too.
I don't think that I don't well, I mean, I have him in our dynasty league.
I know you do.
Yeah. And this has nothing to do with the fact that he was my bring home the bacon player or that I had him on almost every redraft team. It has nothing to do with all that. I just when I watch him throw the football, it's not like he has it has nothing to do with arm strength. I mean, obviously it plays somewhat of a factor, but it's just the fact that like he always knows like how much touch to put on it to where there's only one person that can get to the ball, and it's his receiver. And it's the sideline throws outside the numbers. Let me walk with me for a second here, Addison. There's one receiver who's the best in the NFL on sideline throws more than 15 yards down the field and outside the numbers. The Patriots have the 10th most cap space projected if the cap goes to 304 or whatever it is this year. Dallas Cowboys have currently negative $45 million in cap space.
What are you doing, Jerry? What are you doing?
They have. What if the Patriots signed George Pickens as a free agent?
How can you not take Drake May at your Dynasty 101? Like,
I don't understand. There's no world.
Pickens.
There's no world where I wouldn't. I mean, we're in a startup mock right now, and I believe that did you take Drake May?
No, I took Caleb Williams at 3, and everyone's mad
took
about
Caleb
it.
Williams at 3. That's what it was. I thought so. Drake May went 2, Caleb Williams went 3, and I believe Josh Allen went 4. So, I think that Drake May's got the one thing and it's just there's no defense for a perfect throw, and like he's one of the most accurate deep ball pass. He's just a really accurate passer in general. But I
cleanest
feel like,
looking balls in the world too. Just
whoa,
like Caleb will. Hey, we talked about Caleb Williams. I will admit, it is sometimes hard to watch because you watch the ball in the air, and I'm
said
that's
he's got some of the prettiest balls. I was like,
Hey, yeah, he has some pretty balls.
Those balls are smooth as eggs. No, but seriously though, what were you saying about Caleb Williams? We could talk about I don't know how this turned into like just being heaping on superlatives about the 2024 quarterback class. I'm down for it though, because I'm into it. Let's get weird.
Hey, I mean, I love that you were like, do we got a show sheet for this? I'm like, come on, man. Would we even have used a show sheet if we started on one? Like, come on. We'd be on this topic no matter what. But riddle me this, because I want to take you in a little different direction here, because I got a lot of shit for that Caleb Williams at 3 pick in a dynasty mock. I peruse the Discord streets. I got to hear what people were saying about it. I got called a fucking idiot a couple times, but not the first time I've been called that. Not the last either. But that being said, like, tell me this, like, how would you handle a mock draft? Because we're in a ton of these dynasty mock drafts. Do you try and go off the wall, see how your team looks if you take the most aggressive strategy, or do you just keep it close to the vest?
It really depends on the settings. Like I'm going to try to monopolize the positions that that score the most points. Like or value pockets. Like,
okay, yeah, that's fair.
You know what I mean? Like I don't.
I do.
Like we're in that mock, and I think I went Burrow. Burrow slipped all the way to the back of the first round. I had the 110.
Crazy.
Yeah. He slipped all the way to the back, and he's one of my biggest buys if he's available in a bunch of places. And then I think I went with JSN. All those guys came off the board right before, and I think I went Teteroa McMillan, which you know how I feel about. Yeah, and then Colston Loveland, and then I double tapped and went Sam Laporta. Like, It's
Love that.
0.17, it's 0.75 tight end premium. So like just making sure that I have elite assets that are going to, there's a premium on tight ends, like an extra 0.75 a reception. Like
It's big.
I'm in. And the Lions just hired Drew Petzing. I think that there's enough trepidation surrounding Sam Laporta and just when you
Good
hear
word.
back injury to where you can get him at a discount and he's just as good to me as all of these tight ends that we're boosting up. Like, I mean, he had the greatest tight end rookie season of all time. And now he's getting a tight end whisperer, as his play caller. So that's just I try to be fluid. There are some players that I have biases against. Like I will never draft Jalen Waddle, no matter what, not even if there's a fire. And
Makes one of us.
yeah, I that's just not something that it's not something that I'll do for sure.
Also,
I'm
you
never gonna do it.
misspoke. You said Xavier Worthy really weirdly there.
Oh no, I'll draft Xavier Worthy. I will. It will have to be like he will have to have been at the top of the queue uh for 2 rounds, 3 rounds. Like that's I'll do it. But you guys just got, I mean, I did the same thing we did the startup last year in Tino 2, and I like Dalton Kincaid sat at the top of the board, which we did some business with Dalton Kincaid later on in the season. But
Oh yeah.
we like he just sat up there for forever. And I was like, yeah, I don't believe in Dalton Kincaid, but he's gonna have some value at some point. And it turns out like all of his advanced metrics were incredible. So it really just depends on like me letting the board tell me where to go. The beautiful part about this job and doing, making content and everything that we're working on is that you get to have as informed of an opinion as you possibly can. And I mean, there's just nobody, like I'm the loudest voice in my own head doing this. So I get to have, it's like, okay, I get all this information and like I can go confirm my biases or I can try to like, use a Socratic method to break them down. So I'll have a process one way or the other. Either it's going to work out really well, which it did this past year in a lot of fantasy leagues, or it's going to be dog shit, and which it was the year before. I was a year early on Christian Watson and Javonte Williams and all these dudes, and Trey McBride just couldn't score touchdowns. Like but I would rather live with my own convictions than die on the hill of someone else's. So that's my thanks for coming to my TED talk about my draft strategy.
Love it. Well, we said we were going to talk prospects. We might as well spend the last 10 minutes doing that. I know you got another show going up here with Pete Nova. Hope that one goes awesome. But let's start talking some prospects. We've started our research on that. We have takes. We have players that we're starting to get high on for the field. Who was the guy that stood out the most to you? Because we've been breaking down these one at a time. The book of secrets is getting real filled out. Like, which one's calling to you?
Well, I just did the prospect video on Kenyon Sadiq, and I have a type. Brother. And the more that I watch Kenyon Sadiq, the more I'm like, oh, holy fuck. Okay, this is it. This is the guy. This is the guy. Very nice. The sexy time. Like, I mean, he's just everything that you want. He's everything you want in a tight end, man. Like, I don't. Everybody says he's too small. He's the same fucking size as Brock Bowers. And I was doing a little digging on fantasy points data, and I just wanted to go, and I was like, hey, so this whole thing about playing in line, I feel like that's way overblown because we see tight ends lined up in the slot out wide. We're seeing that more than ever now. And so I counted 10 tight ends with at least a 50% slot rate and 50 targets last year. So there's a role for these guys if they're not a traditional inline tight end like, Max Clare or Tanner Koziol or any of those guys. So yeah, Kenyon Sadiq really was talking to me. And then, I'll talk about Gospel George, Carnell Tate, but who caught your eye?
Yeah, the big one for me, and just so you know here, I'm just gonna throw this in here. My favorite comp that we have in our database for college production, comparing to Kenyon Sadiq, is Brendan Strange, a
Hey, you know
JC
I love me
favorite
some
as
Strange
well.
now. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
know you got a type.
I do have a type, and that was like I got so wrapped up in Tucker Craft and making sure I spread the good word last year that I didn't really get to. I was just, this is such an incredible value. I'll be able to get him in every single one of my drafts. So that's what I did. So for me, um Tucker Craft, and well, he's not as big as Tucker Craft. Tucker Craft's like 6'5", 260. Britton
Yeah,
Strange is like 255, but he moves very similarly. Kenyon Sadiq moves very similar. I think he's more athletic though. I mean, he made the
I think so too.
Feldman's freaks list, 41.5-inch vertical. I think he's gonna run high 4.4s or low 4.5s.
I
Even
was
if he
gonna
runs
say
a
four
4.6, it's
five.
a great time, for a tight end. So yeah, that's I did, you just made my day with that comparison because I feel like he has those traits, but he's going to go somewhere and get the draft capital that says I need to throw the ball to Kenyon Sadiq, whereas Brenton Strange is kind of an afterthought in the offense sometimes, even though he does incredible things every single time you throw him the ball. So why not fucking throw him the ball more? But it's a different story for a different day. My apologies. Go ahead.
Well, you're talking about T-Law. He's never gonna make you happy. That's not his thing. But the biggest one for me. So I could go Emmett Johnson, but everyone knows Emmett Johnson is an absolute baller.
No, 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 no,
Do
no,
they
no, no, no.
not?
Talk, speak.
Okay,
We can't
cool.
assume
Yeah,
that everybody knows what everybody knows about guys in the book of secrets.
yeah, you're right. I'll start with Emmett Johnson because that was the player I was most impressed by. I was looking through the tape. I started with Seth McGowan, Jadarian Price, and I was like, these really great athletic prospects, 4 to 5 star high school recruits, like top 100 in the class, and we're gonna have all this data on League Champ, so you'll get a chance to look at it. But you know, I was like, okay, interesting running back class. I'm not sure that it's going to be as good as I want. Like, the best comps I had for those guys were like high end Brees Hall, but like low end, not Brees Hall. Like high end, maybe like Chase Brown. And then I got to Emmett Johnson playing with Mini Mahomes there in Nebraska. And, everyone watches Rayola and they're always like, that's a guy you got to keep an eye on. Holy shit. I don't think Rayola would get any money from Oregon if Emmett Johnson wasn't absolutely tearing it up. This guy is the size of Jonathan Taylor, basically, a little bit smaller. And he has breakaway run speed that would blow your fucking mind. The guy ran 60 to 70 yards 20 times this year. He was incredible. I was looking down the board because we went through the top 50 PFF. And I was like,
Yeah,
this is the last guy I'm looking at? Like, how
yeah.
is Seth McGowan in the same freaking tier as him? I get it. Like, college prospects don't always work out. Caleb Johnson from last year, but that guy absolutely manhandled every defense he played against, and he did it while looking good.
Mhm. So I'm glad you said that. I was recording with Casey, when we were talking, Casey and Jeremiah, we were talking, rookie running backs, and I was just like, this dude is like Nightcrawler. He's got crazy lateral, like he's got the type of lateral agility where he's in one place and then he's not there anymore, and you're like, how did this happen? What did it reminds me, and I'm careful because this is one of my favorite running backs of all time, but it reminds me of LaShawn McCoy with
I see that.
the way that he's able to like stop start, and then there's this incredible like contact balance. I don't want to call him Jamal Charles because I think he's not as straight line fast as Jamal Charles, but
No, he's not.
he's able to stop, change directions, excel, decel, get back to top speed. Like, I mean, he's only 200 pounds, but he runs heavy. But it's with the grace and the grace and shiftiness and elusiveness of a guy who's 200, who's a 200-pound scat back. Excuse me. So I get really, really excited. Jonah Coleman was my guy. I've been
Yeah.
huge Jonah Coleman guy for quite some time. But once I saw Emmett Johnson and I was like, good God Almighty. This is I felt like when I watched, Devon Achane, when I watched Brashard last year, like I was just like, man, this is incredible. Like we really got to pay some serious attention here. And I think people are going to they're either going to love him or people are going to fade him for whatever reason. And I do think that he's going to get a quality landing spot because people aren't going to be as hip. People aren't going to. Wait, where do you want him?
I want him at home, man. Come on, I want him in Chicago.
You bastard.
I don't think it's going to happen. I think he'd look better in a Tennessee uniform, though.
Oh, dude, I promise you. If he is in a Tennessee uniform, you will see me. It will be forever 3 a.m. in the cement aisle if he's in a Tennessee uniform.
Hey.
But yes, sorry. I didn't.
No.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. And one revision there, I was thinking of Seth McGowan, who's Jonathan Taylor size. Emmett Johnson, 5'11", 200. Certainly not Jonathan Taylor size.
I wasn't gonna do that to you on air, but I was gonna text you afterwards.
Been doing too much prospect film. I was looking at them before, and dude, he plays big. Like I was watching that, I was like, how the hell is he not a top 5? Makes sense. But dude, I know we got you getting out of here, but I want to throw one more name at you just before you leave. Skylar Bell was the most impressive receiver I watched. And I told you I was going to come out here. I joked about talking about Carson Beck. We aren't going to do that here. Fuck that. But Skylar Bell, I thought he was 6'3" when I was watching him. He is 6 foot, 190. And he has the most acrobatic catches I've ever seen. Jacoby Lane was the only guy that even came close in terms of contested catch. Like Casey Concepcion, awesome. He's really cool. Skylar Bell is that guy.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to getting into. You're probably like the 4th person I've talked to that loves Skylar Bell. And I'll give you one name once we get off air to look into.
Give me some homework.
We're going to see next week in Mobile, which we will be in Mobile next week, hopefully, if there's not a catastrophic snowstorm. So, do with that information what you will. I got to go.
All right. Catch you guys later. Peace.